What is up, guys? EJ here, back with another video, and today is going to be my DVD collection for 2016 and the Film Noir section. So let's get started. Up first we have The Asphalt Jungle from 1950. A really good film with Sterling Hayden and Louis Calhern. Also stars Marilyn Monroe in her first movie. Up next we have The Big Sleep from 1946, great film starring Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. Yeah, just a great film noir based on a Raymond Chandler novel. Fantastic movie. Up next we have Double Indemnity from 1944. Barbara Stanwyck, fantastic in this film, alongside Fred MacMurray and Edward G. Robinson, Universal Legacy series. Okay, up next we have Gaslight from 1944, terrific film with Ingrid Bergman, Joseph Cotton, and Charles Boyer. Up next we have Gilda from 1946, of course the film that Rita Hayworth is most well known for. Fantastic movie directed by Charles Vidor that I also have on Criterion Collection. Up next we have The Good German from 2006, I believe. Yeah, film directed by Steven Soderbergh with George Clooney, Cate Blanchett, and Tobey Maguire. Yeah, good movie. And again, got one of these Canadian titles. Up next we have High Sierra from 1941, starring Humphrey Bogart and Ida Lupino. Really good film. Up next we have another Bogey and Bacall classic, Key Largo from 1948. Co-stars Edward G. Robinson. Yeah, great movie. It takes place in a hotel in Key West down in Florida. Alright, moving on down. Up next we have Stanley Kubrick's Killer's Kiss from 1955, one of his earliest films. Good movie. Try and get this out. Let's go. Another Stanley Kubrick film, this time The Killing from 1956. Really good film with Sterling Hayden. Yeah, terrific movie. Okay, up next we have Kiss Me Deadly from 1955 with Ralph Meeker. Really good film. Up next we have one of these Fox Film Noirs, Kiss of Death from 1947 with Victor Mature, Brian Donlevy, and Colleen Gray. Up next we have The Lady from Shanghai, also from 1947, really good film with Orson Welles and Rita Hayworth. Up next we have Laura from 1944, another Fox Film Noir with Gene Tierney and Dana Andrews. Up next we have The Lost Weekend from 1945, Best Picture winner from that year with Ray Milland and Jane Wyman. Yeah, terrific movie. Up next we have one of my favorite film noirs, and that's The Maltese Falcon from 1941. Fantastic performance by Humphrey Bogart, Mary Astor as well. Yeah, just a terrific film directed by John Huston. Up next we have The Man Who Wasn't There from 2001. Yeah, really underrated film from Joel and Ethan Coen. Billy Bob Thornton, fantastic, as is Frances McDormand and the late great James Gandolfini. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite Coen Brothers films. Up next we have Mildred Pierce from 1945, I believe, with Joan Crawford, Jack Carson, and Zachary Scott. God, these are really stuck in there. Okay, up next we have The Night of the Hunter from 1955. Fantastic performance by Robert Mitchum, Shelley Winters as well. Terrific movie that I also have on Criterion Collection. Up next we have Nightmare Alley with Tyrone Power from 1947. Another Fox Film Noir. Another great film from 1947, Out of the Past, with Robert Mitchum and Jane Greer, Kirk Douglas as well. Terrific movie, that one. God, these are really stuck in there. What the hell? Okay, up next we have another Fox Film Noir, and that is Panic in the Streets from 1950, directed by Elia Kazan. Yeah, really good film, starring Charlton Heston. Yeah, terrific movie. Richard Widmark. Yeah, definitely worth checking out. Okay, up next we have A Place in the Sun from 1951. A really good film, produced by George Stevens, starring Montgomery Clift, Liz Taylor, and Shelley Winters. Alright, up next we have The Postman Always Rings Twice from 1946. Really sexy performance by Lana Turner. John Garfield, of course, this was remade in the 80s with Jack Nicholson. I still haven't seen that film either. Anyway, moving on. Up next we have The Setup, I believe from 1949, with Robert Ryan and Audrey Tauter. Up next we have Shadow of a Doubt, really underrated film from Alfred Hitchcock. Yeah, one of his most underrated movies from 1943. Fantastic performance by Joseph Cotton, Teresa Wright, wonderful. Yeah, just a really good film. Okay, up next we have Frank Miller's Sin City from 2005. Yeah, groundbreaking film, of course. Brilliant cinematography, the black and white, with the sort of splashes of color mixed in. Segment directed by Quentin Tarantino. Fantastic cast: Bruce Willis, Jessica Alba, Mickey Rourke, Elijah Wood, a whole host of people, Rosario Dawson. Yeah, just a fantastic movie. Josh Hartnett. Yeah, just loved it. And of course, we got the sequel, Sin City: A Dame to Kill For, on Blu-ray from 2014. Not as good as the first one, but still pretty good. Ava Green. Yeah, I forgot to mention like Clive Owen, Benicio del Toro, fantastic in the first one as well. Okay, up next we have The Stranger from 1946. Yeah, really good film starring Orson Welles, Edward G. Robinson, and Loretta Young. Up next we have Strangers on the Train, one of my favorite Alfred Hitchcock films. Fantastic movie with Farley Granger, Robert Walker, and Ruth Roman. 2-disc special edition. Yeah, just a fantastic movie, one of Hitchcock's best films. Up next we have Sudden Fear from 1952, starring Joan Crawford, Jack Palance, and Gloria Graham. Yeah, good little movie. Alright, up next we have Sunset Boulevard, Special Collector's Edition. One of the best films in the 1950s. Yeah, from 1950, William Holden, Gloria Swanson, Eric von Stroheim. Just a fantastic movie about the film business, and yeah, just can't go wrong with Sunset Boulevard. Okay, up next we have Suspicion from 1941, another Alfred Hitchcock film with Cary Grant and Joan Fontaine. Up next we have This Gun for Hire, Universal Noir Collection from 1942, really good film with Alan Ladd and Veronica Lake. Up next we have To Have and Have Not from 1944. Howard Hawks produced this film starring Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. Yeah, just put your lips together and blow. Fantastic chemistry between those two, of course. They made great films in the 40s, Bogey and Bacall, and this is one of their best. Okay, up next we have Touch of Evil from 1958. Yeah, another great film directed by Orson Welles, who of course stars in the movie alongside Charlton Heston and Jeanette Lee. Fantastic film that takes place at a Texas-Mexico border town. Up next we have White Heat from 1949 with Jimmy Cagney and Virginia Mayo. Warner Brothers Pictures Gangsters collection, but yeah, I think it's a film noir, so that's why I have it in this section. And last but not least, we have The Woman in the Window from 1945. Really good film directed by Fritz Lang, starring Edward G. Robinson and Joan Bennett. So there you have my film noir collection. Up next will be horror, which is one of my biggest sections now. So that'll probably be 3 parts at least. So thank you for watching as always, and until next time, I'll see ya.